let her tell it. People on the streets say Sabrina speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerns. You will hear some people gone. So tell all your friends to tune in to
Good evening, Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you, from national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now here's Sabrina.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. Yes, we're in the middle of the week. A wet afternoon as well. It's been forecasted for rain, I would say, for the past, 3 days? And if you're looking at all the models with all the weather report, we're supposed to be having downpours, but some people are getting it and others are not. But welcome back to another Sabrina Speaks, Voices of the Islands, Conversations for the World, and the podcast where voices rise, stories unfold, and inspiration take center stage. I'm your host, Sabrina, and it is a pleasure to be back with you on this Wednesday afternoon. Yes. Now, this episode of Sabrina Speaks is proudly lit by International Lighting, and they continue in their celebration of celebrating 39 years of illuminating Cayman's homes and also hospitality. Yes. Just like our rising stars in the kitchen and behind the bar, they know how to set the mood and elevate the experience only down there at International Lighting. Yes, their anniversary sale continues this week. So hurry down and stock up on those bed and bag sets, area rugs. Again, he gets them directly from Turkey, and more while supplies last, because every great space deserves a touch of brilliance. So visit Edward Miller and his team at Ed's Plaza. That's 194 South, that's Sound Road. And they're open from Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Or you feel free to give them a call for more information. That's 345-949-8211 or 345-949-5141. Please remember that the content you're about to hear, including any discussions or opinions from myself, guests, and or participants, is intended solely for general information and entertainment purposes. It is not a substitute for professional, legal, medical, or financial advice. So I encourage you to consult with a qualified professional for specific concerns. And Sabrina Speaks, yes, disclaims all liability for any decisions or actions taken in reliance on the information presented. And don't forget, for you to keep up and don't miss an episode, like, share, and follow so you don't miss an episode. And for those of you, I'm going to have to keep doing this for every show, because I know that a number of you tune in at various points, and you may not have seen the intro, you may not have seen the flyer, but today I'm going to keep repeating as much as possible when my guests join me, to keep the conversation alive. So persons joining at various stage, I don't know when at what point you join a live stream, because that's why we do the promos before. But today's episode will be a powerful celebration of youth, talent, and the brilliant hospitality industry that defines our very islands. And by around 5:30, I will be joined by two extraordinary young Caymanians who recently triumphed at the 2025 Young Chef and Young Mixology competition. And that is Mr. Kristofer Mason and Mr. Kody Wright. Yes, they will be joining me. Those two will be joining me a little later on in the show. So I hope that you enjoyed yesterday's show with Nikki and Karina. And I think that they have so much information. Oh my God, Nikki needs to have some sort of outlet where we showcase her in that industry. She comes with a wealth of knowledge. Both young ladies do, both strong Caymanian young women that bring so much to the insurance industry space. And I can let you know, you can rest assured, they're going to be regulars here. They're going to be in-house resource persons that will come on a basis whenever those topics are pertaining to their industry. And I'm just so happy now that people are subscribing to be able to come on and educate and inform our community. That is huge for us. And that speaks a lot about our society. I'm being very honest with you here in that where, it's not hard for me to get persons to come on board when I need people, so to speak, on certain topics. I'm seeing now where persons are making themselves available to come on. Thank God, we're going into 3 months of having this live podcast. And I must say, we're growing slowly but surely, and the content is definitely proven to be beneficial. And based on all the feedback that I'm getting in your content participation, it is one of those things where I am going to continue to expand on those. I just got a message from one of my people. Okay, all right, Kody. One of our persons are not going to make it. I just got that information there. So we will be joined by Kristofer. So Kristofer will be joining me. I haven't gotten anything from him, Mr. Mason, who is our young chef. And I'm hoping he will come on board and let us know what their experience is about. But whether or not, we're going to be here for you and we can turn this into a conversation. There's lots to talk about. Lots have been going on. Let's see who's here. Connie, hi, good afternoon. It's good you're the first to comment this evening, Connie. It is so good to see. Oh, it's good to have you back, girl. Jasara, good afternoon to you as well. Hey, Marshall. I hope that the weather is definitely cooling down the part of the world that you're on, Miss Rose. Yes, thank you so much for that compliment. The topic this evening, well, I'm hoping to put the spotlight on these young Caymanians who just won the Young Chef. I was hoping to have a young mixologist on as well to showcase them, to give them the exposure internationally. They're doing it on their own, but the more we can highlight our young people in the industry of hospitality, I was reached out by one of their parents and I gave the space, and it's really up to them. But I have opened the platform to them to showcase, to highlight them. Mr. Kody, unfortunately, will not be able to make it, so I will understand him. Hopefully at some other time, maybe I can showcase him. But Kristofer, I'm hoping will still actually be able, and we're still going to have a show. But yep, I want to be able to use this platform for our youth and to definitely give people an outlet. Yes. So Miss Rose, yes, you're listening. Thank you. Hi, Shaka Zulu. Good evening to you. Hi, Miss Dorothy. Michelle, good afternoon to you as well. This blouse, thank you so much. Ooh la la. I think that was down in lockdown, or shortly after we came out of lockdown. That's how long. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, they saved me many a times when I was in Parliament. I tell you the truth. Ooh la la never failed. And Just Add Water as well. And Miss Lorna's, all of them. And Just for Fit in A.L. Thompson's. Just my fit in A.L. Thompson's building. Now, if it's one thing you can say, I can honestly tell the people of the Cayman Islands that throughout my entire tenure, 99.9%, all of the attire that I wore was local. I have friends and family who, whenever they travel, they brought back pieces. That's my heart to my truly, truly, truly Miss Joyce, and she never left me out. Oh no, my family, even Eric, yeah, even Eric was shopping for me. What a mess. And he did well too. So, but I must say, I did a lot of shopping locally, and I must say they all delivered. I am pleased with them. The swearing in piece that I wore was from just my fit in A.L. Thompson's building. I remember that lady that night opening up her store for me almost 10 o'clock in the night. And we pulled together that outfit in 2021 after 9, 10 o'clock in the night. And that's the society that we are. Pretty much, my cousin, she would go to these stores and they would send pieces home for me, like if I had Parliament coming up. And they would send pieces for me at home, including shoes and accessories, any event. And I would choose what I want. And because you just don't have the time. And I would get the total, pay them. And that's how it was pretty much for 4 and odd years. That's what I did. And I want to personally thank all of those small businesses who normally don't get the notice, the appreciation, that exposure. I must say thank you to all of them, even Godfrey's, Mr. Nicky and Bernadette. They helped me out a lot because people understood the responsibility that comes with the role. And yeah, but Miss Lorna, ooh la la, just my fit, but she don't open during Saturdays because she's a Seventh-day Adventist. All of them, they were there for me, and I must say publicly thank them. Even that thrift store in Merco Center, oh yes, you know how much pieces I got from them. Oh, I was too happy shop up in there. Yep, nothing wrong with it. Connie, good evening, Carrie. Teresa, yes. Oh, yes. We all love. But you know what? Some people are celebrating birthdays, and I got to give a big shout out to Miss Laverne Connor. Yes, happy birthday, my friend, my schoolmate. We go way back. When I say way back, we go way back. This is from West Bay Primary School days. So this not a politics thing here. This is true. And you got some of those people in your lives that you don't have to be in their presence. You don't have to ever visit their homes. You don't have to be in their personal space. But going through school and who you are now as adults, they remain the same person that you can recall going back to school when it comes at one-on-one with them. And I want to wish you many, 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 many more birthdays. And I hope that you had a wonderful day, Laverne. And I honor you as a friend, and you're genuine. You've shown me the same face from day one, from primary school. Yeah. Sir John A. Cumber primary school days, straight through middle school, straight through high school and inner adult, where she works now at a law firm. I conduct a lot of business with that law firm, and that has never changed. She has never changed. God bless you always, and I hope that you're having a blast. Yes. And another birthday to someone that's significant in my life. Yeah, I scroll across lots of birthday wishes going out to Miss Toy Ryan, one of the big stalwarts right there on Crew Road. Miss Toy, can you imagine? Miss Toy is 98 years old. Yes, Miss Toy Ryan. You'll know that little house across from Sir Alden McLaughlin's parents' house, where Sir Alden's father, I can see him right now in that recliner chair on the front porch. May his soul rest in peace. But Miss Toy Ryan's house is directly across the road. Right there, she's celebrating her birthday, and 98 years old, and she still has a smile that lights up the room like there's no tomorrow. And, I want to wish her a happy birthday, and to Karen and to the rest of her family. I want to wish them all the best. She used to take care of children, and she took care of my second son when he was in his early days. And I can remember as a child growing up, going to Miss Toy Ryan's house with my mother, Kay, because I grew up with her in the Seventh-day Adventist church. Yeah, I'm a Seventh-day Adventist. We'll stick up. We'll just pause that little one right there. A little fun fact. But I can remember going to Miss Toy's, and those days, if I can remember, those were the days. I think the first TV that I watched really was at Miss Toy's house. Those days it was Dallas, Charlie's Angels. Yeah, my mom would go there and just hang there with her because they were deaconess of the church, and on Saturday nights, and she has this huge yard. I would run around there. We would have socials there every now and again as well. And what is the fond memory of mine going to her house, besides, you know, Dallas and Charlie's Angels? I was too young to really appreciate that. But she always had snacks, hence my size. And she always accommodated, she always loved children. And she had a white hammock on the front porch. And as you step out of the kitchen, there were like 2 steps because of how her house was built. And then there was a cement structure that was added on after the fact, close to what I think is a cistern. She also had a hammock around the back on the inside as well. And I would just be there as a child. And that room had looked so big, just swinging in this as my mom and her and the other people who were visiting her did whatever adults were doing at that time. I was just a young child, just enjoying it and playing. But to see now that she's celebrating 98 years, my son is now, what, 26? And I can remember dropping him off at her house, and she's there with this big pot of porridge to give him in the morning. So fond memories of the stalwart of Crew Road. You know, I hope that she's enjoying her day. And those are some memories of me at her house. But yeah, taking you back into time a little bit, Dallas and Charlie's Angels. I watched many of those episodes at Miss Toy House with my mom back in the day. But yeah, she still has a smile, and that personality has never changed. I can only speak what I know of a person. But happy birthday from all of us to both you and Laverne of the Sabrina Speaks family here. And as I said, we're going to put the spotlight on today's episode on our young chef now. I was going to have Kody on, but circumstances beyond his control, he's unable to make it. So we're still going to go on with the show for 5:30 once Kristofer, our young chef, tune in. We will definitely speak with him there. Jasara, happy birthday to Laverne. Oh, you're sharing those birthday wishes too. Damien, love from Jamaica. Oh, you got a lot. Don't worry, I'm coming there. I heard that the cabinet was selected today, and I watched last night after the show. I watched the live ceremony of the Prime Minister being sworn in, and I got some pictures from that as well. Yes, Miss Toy. Yes, and Marshall, you should know. She's 98 today. You know how far back we're going. And Miss Dorothy sharing those birthday wishes as well. Yes. She's doing well, though, I must say. She has her good days and her bad days. I don't speak to Karen often enough, but I know, from what I'm seeing on her shared on her Facebook page, we just got to give thanks for every day our parents are with us. Yeah. Miss Dorothy agrees. She's a wonderful person, and God's richest blessings to you, Miss Connor, as well, sharing there. You remember the plums. She has long neck pears in her yard as well. Yep. In Miss Toy backyard, she has nice pears as well. Oh my gosh, you're going back in time. Yes, those were the dares, Marshall. See, so when you think we're not connected, we are in so many ways. But to all of the persons that I may have missed out or that may be celebrating birthdays, if I don't know, I don't share. If you want, you can share them with me. 936-8255 is a WhatsApp number. And you can also send me an email as well. So that's Sabrina Speaks, the number 12, at gmail.com, right there. Sabrina Speaks. It's on the top of the page. You can send me an email with the attachment, or you just send me a WhatsApp. It really helps. I don't want to overlook anybody, but what you don't know can't hurt you. So let's keep it going. We would realize, as I said, the swearing in of the Most Honorable Andrew Holness took place yesterday while we were live on that show. And that ceremony was held at King's House. What a beautiful building. Yeah. That took place at King's House. And who's guiding that process was the Governor General, His Excellency, the Most Honorable Sir Patrick Allen. So as you can see, he's watching carefully over the execution of that instrument that appoints him as Prime Minister of Jamaica. And we know that he secured 36 seats for the Jamaica Labour Party, that's the JLP. So that will be the ruling government for the next 5 years. The Cayman Islands, we have 4-year terms. In Jamaica, they have 5 years terms. And it's quite interesting, the speech that he delivered. Not following, I just started looking or paying attention to those politics over there. And, just like how he was starring. And here we have another image where it was after it was executed, officially presented for that official show. It was attended by so many of the JLP supporters, his family. There we have his mom, his 2 sons, and his father. Yes, that's Andrew, the prime minister's mom, his dad, and their 2 children. And we had a few stars ourselves over there. When I went back and replayed this thing on the Jamaican channels, I saw a video. Of course, I had to screenshot it. Oh yes, I did. And look at there, look who's having a blast. Look at who's having a blast. That is our very own Minister of Cayman Islands government right here. That's the Honorable Nicholas da Costa, who was front and center as well. And he was there, obviously joining in the festivities next to 2 of the JLP elected ministers. Both of these, Miss Babsy Grange, I think, and this other gentleman made cabinet today. I'll have all of that list tomorrow. But it was, you can see Nicholas is enjoying himself there. Honorable Nicholas da Costa, our very own Home Affairs and District Lands Commission, District Lands Minister here in the Cayman Islands. He was in attendance. I caught a glimpse as well in the caption of Dr. Marzuka, who was seated in the second row. Yeah, from here, you could understand his connections over there, being one of the representatives from the Jamaican community here in the Cayman Islands. But yeah, I managed to capture that of our very own Member of Parliament and a minister. And of course, I broke this. Joyce Ann was there as well. And she attended that event last night as well, too, hosted by the Prime Minister of Jamaica. I get those pictures yet, but I'm quite sure she will share those with me as well. So it's been a jam-packed day for all of those there in Jamaica, I guess, for this week as the new parliament and government gets in place. And we can only hope for the best as we continue to evolve in this space. So Miss Joyce Ann was there as well. Take that, all of you. She was there enjoying her time. And of course, I shared even her invitation. Even her invitation I shared with you all. And there we have it. So it's going to be a lot. I'm just getting some other images for what I'm going to mention as well next. So there we have Miss Joyce Ann. And let's go across the pond, as they say it. We're a British Overseas Territory jurisdiction, and why not let you know what's happening in the United Kingdom? There you have it. The President and First Lady of the United States are in the United Kingdom, and this for their second. This is this president's second state visit to the United Kingdom, which is stated to be a historic in nature, because this has never been done with a U.S. president, where the United Kingdom has invited a U.S. president twice. So this is historic. And I mean, they never spared anything when it comes to all the pomp and pageantry. And you even had the red arrows that did the flyby and all of that sort of stuff that was going on. Let's get that. Let's get this one up. You had a lot that was going on there. And I got another image here I want to share with you. There we go. Yep, that was a flyby earlier on this afternoon by the red arrows, and over Cambridgeshire earlier today. And he participated in a wreath laying as well at where Queen Elizabeth II now rests. And there's also a state banquet that was had at St. George's Hall at Windsor. And oh my God, if you see the spread of how long this table was and all of the centerpieces and all of that sort of stuff, oof, yeah, it was a lot that was going on. And it didn't come without, of course, anti-Trump protesters. They were definitely there, and like we're seeing all over the world. And they weren't short of that. It is estimated from a report that I read in on CNN World that it was estimated over London's Metropolitan Police said that there was at least 5,000 persons who attended this protest, and that took place in central London, demonstrating against his visit. But now, by the time we went live, they had cleared the space. It was approximately 5,000 that participated that in the capital. So, yeah, it's a lot going on, to be honest, but which is why I tell you, we have so much to be thankful for here, for our state of calm, for everything that we actually stand for, what we believe in. We're still so blessed. You heard an incident last night. Information is still coming out on that. It is alleged that somebody was robbed or something, and then they got stabbed or shot in the Laurels. Yeah, we still don't have enough information on that to share that with you, but I'm quite sure you can tune into cmrtv.com, where all the latest information and so much more headlines as well will be shared there. So as we wait for our guest to show up, because I'm down to one now. It started at 3, now I'm down to 1. I just want to be able to showcase this young man here this evening and get to see what life is like. But 936-8255 is the number to call. Don't let me feel like I'm speaking to myself here. I like when you participate, because many a times in this space, we have to shift very quickly. We either do it in connection with what's happening local, or we realize what's happening around us. But we shouldn't limit ourselves to just what's here. But if there's something pressing that is on your mind, by all means, I'm willing to entertain you here in this space. Again, when you come and you're expecting your guests, you still have to provide content. And I want every show to be at a certain standard that someone takes away something with them. But this episode was geared towards showcasing and highlighting our extraordinary young Caymanians who represented us well and came away with the 2025 Young Chef and Young Mixologist. There's also a waiter or a waitress as well, and I just wanted to showcase them at the request of their parents, and circumstance happened. And please note, I'm showcasing them. This is unsolicited. I'm not being paid. The show is not being sponsored. This is just my way of presenting them to you in this platform and to let you know exactly what's going on in our community. I have pictures to share and all with you in regards to their journey, but who best to sell themselves but them. And that is why the platform is here. Good evening, good afternoon, caller. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm bad today.
What happened? Oh, yes, you went to the dentist.
Yeah, but I understand from somebody that was here playing cards with a guy where I say, well, he was in fact a Susan boat, so that's why he got shooting his bottom. He went to rob, but he run too slow.
Oh, so my goodness.
He got shooting his behind, but listen to this. I say the world is crazy. I don't know if you know the place that it's similar to Disney World, but just that it don't have the rides and the characters and all that. Well, it has characters, but it don't have the rides and all that. Business in Orlando. Okay, listen to this. They have a place there that it's like a restaurant, but it like out or whatever, and you gotta go out like on on a wharf to get to it or something. This guy, listen to this now, you think that people not up to all kind of shit. And but I guess he must be know, how we saying now, when I heard about it, I was telling, I said he must be know that they probably don't bank money weekend. And you know what? He happened there every time I went, and I've been there about 5 times, I love it. That be full. And they don't normally on Friday, so he must be know. And I was even telling the person that was telling me, but I said, follow up. It could have been somebody that work out in there, but listen to what he done. The only thing he get diving gears, right? And he actually swam out in the little canal that they got in there. But the only thing they said that was out on him is his foot. That's why they know that it's a white person. But hands were covered, head, everything. And he dived out there and went up and broke into the manager's office.
Oh, wow.
And robbed. And it's a huge amount of money that they say he gone. Well, and I said, well, where he went? Because I told him, I said he must be had something under the water to escape. And I catch him. Then I catch him. And by then police is you know, slow. And that's about it. So, surprise about him because then I catch him. I don't know if they can catch him, but then as they catch him, I say he must be in then. But it was almost night, so I guess, you know, when the night getting dark, he had that against him. But I say, I mean, I was so puzzled when I heard that. I say, see what I tell you? Boy, people is up to all kinds of tricks and trades stealing. I mean, he dove out then and went into the office and robbed the manager and get wet to the manager office and robbed that.
That takes a lot of planning.
And they said, well, he must be run. So listen, no, he swam back with the money.
Oh, wow.
He went in the water with the money, so he had to dry that. Because that get wet up. I said, boy, I tell you, no, it's not a thief, it's a thief, boy. And people will do anything. So I say, they say money is the root of all evil.
Right.
No, yeah, but this one, they say he went to rob because they were playing cards, and he went to try rob them and somebody, and he run. But like I say, he wasn't fast as Usain Bolt, and he got shot. And I saw the picture, they sent it to me just after it happened. And I know the place that happened, they were saying about the girl named Cat, but she not named Cat, she named Cat. But they call her, I don't know why they call her Cat, because she not Cat, is Cat. I know her mother and everything. I know her when she born.
Well, because it's still under investigation, we're going to let the police do their job, and let's hope that they get it sorted out.
And I saw him had him down on the ground, and I can't bother saying, look, it was between school household, but it's down in Rock Hole area right there where she is. I know the area, everything where a park used to be, and they had him there. It putting pressure on it, but that way he get. I'll go work, don't go stealing. He look fairly young. I don't know who he is, but anyway.
Well, leave me right there for now. I'm going to bring in my guest, Mr. Kristofer Mason. Thank you so much, caller. It's always good to have you participate. And that's one thing I must give Michelle credit for. If I'm ever short of someone to keep me company, when it comes to a live call, it's her. She's one of them. And definitely all of you here who are sticking with me, who are commenting live also on Facebook and YouTube. Without further ado, let's say good afternoon to Mr. Mason. Welcome to the Sabrina Speak Show. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am fine. I know who's proud, and that's one proud mama. But thank you so much for, committing yourself to this. Things do happen. And I noticed two of your other team, would you all have been considered a team?
Yeah.
Okay. Two of your teammates were unable to make it, but thank you for joining us here and telling us about a little bit we can get from this platform. Understanding what it's like to be a champion, a reigning champion, because you are our chef. You're a chef, and I know you're going to probably blush momentarily because I got some pictures to show how long you have been.
Oh, man.
Well, I'm happy to showcase you here as we explore your journey and to get the power of, local produce and how competitions like this is even transforming hospitality, understanding sometimes that, that industry can kind of get a bad name. Nothing good comes easy. But looking at hospitality and turning that into a career, and for you being a young man and finding and knowing that this is what you enjoyed, I am so happy to be able to put the spotlight on you this afternoon, and to hear more about what this was like. So tell us just a little bit about you. Who are you? Let us know a little bit more about you.
So my name is Kristofer Mason. I'm from Bodin Town,
Hmm.
and I've been in the industry for from young, I would say, from a few years, from internships, from school to stuff like that. So I've been in the industry for a while. I've represented Cayman Islands once before within the culinary industry. So yeah,
Hmm. Yeah.
and I just
Wh-
came back from school and stuff.
When did you know, though, that you really wanted to do something in the culinary arts?
So it would be when I just started UCCI, maybe when I had a teacher named Miss Dunbar. So
Uh-huh.
maybe 16, 17, around there.
Yeah, that Dunbar has been around. I feel old. That's our name, Dunbar. Now, what inspired you? We're going to go straight into let's to the whole competition. What inspired your winning dish? And how did you incorporate, because it's all about winning, right? In this
Yeah.
case, it was a competition. So I
Yeah.
can only imagine what the temperature was like, the adrenaline rushing and all that sort of stuff. But there had to be a winning dish. What
Mm.
inspired your winning dish? And how did you incorporate local ingredients?
So my winning dish, I would say, would be I would mainly highlight my appetizer, my starter. So my
Hmm.
starter was a scallop crudo, so it was like cured scallops.
Hmm.
And the dressing I made for it was a spicy coconut milk dressing. So I feel like that was my main dish, and also like the
What's that?
ingredients that was my main.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then so my main ingredient that I would say like helped me win it was mostly the local ingredients I use, because most people when you do a scallop crudo they normally do like a lemon dressing and stuff like that. So I
Hmm.
just tried to use coconut milk because everyone use coconut milk in the Cayman Islands. So
Yep.
I just tried to tie that in there. So I was testing it for maybe like 4 days trying to get it right, because you had to add just enough salt, spice, stuff like that. So it was maybe like a 4 day prep just for that dressing alone. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh, wow. But for you to come out of the blue to create all of this, what is the foundation for you to know what that dressing would consist of?
Mm. So I would say just working in the industry and working with ingredients, stuff like that. So you kind of get an understanding of the flavor of something, even if you don't have it right in front of you, just from working with it, tasting it in the past. So like you have a memory of how it would taste, stuff like that. So that's how I feel. Yeah.
Mm. How do you feel the competition challenged your creativity and even your techniques? Because it's one thing doing stuff at home when you're
Mm,
entertaining your family or your friends, or
mm,
let's say you get an internship opportunity in one of the many restaurants, right? So somebody give you a chance.
yeah.
But then when it comes to a competition,
Mm,
how did the competition challenge your creativity? Because sometimes you don't know what they're going to throw at you.
yeah.
And you got
So
creativity and technique all at the same time.
So I would say it was challenging just based off like it was a high pressure environment. Just knowing like while you're working, sometimes there's cameras around and you have to do an interview mid work. So
Oh,
I
wow.
would think it was my mains. I was finishing plating my mains, and the camera guy and the mic guy, well, he was following me around, asking me interview questions while I was actually working. So it's just like knowing to like stay calm, stay cool, just focus on what you're doing, stuff like that. So if you're not focused, like sometimes it would be
It'll throw you off.
overwhelming. Yeah, it would throw you off. So it was just like stay focused.
You just wanted to say, like, get out of my way. I got a competition to win here, but
So
how
like
are they going to capture the moment if they're not in your face almost?
So like imagine there's like a chef, he's counting on timers, so he would just shout like 5 minutes till your starters, Mason, stuff like that. So it was just you hearing stuff externally, and then you have an interview guy here telling you, so what was your thoughts today, stuff like that. So it's just made me stay focused and stuff like that. So it was pretty hard.
I can only imagine. Now, it's one thing of us being at home watching, because I watch a lot of the
Mm,
cooking shows, right? But I'm quite sure it's totally different, like when you're
yeah,
in the middle of it.
totally
You
different.
can't compare the two. It's like going to a basketball game and you watching it from your living room versus being in that stadium.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
total different
total
experience.
different experience. Yes.
Hmm. So, what does Caymanian cuisine mean to you, and how do you see it evolving? We understand conch, turtle.
Mm.
You understand what we call Cayman, but when we say Cayman cuisine, what does that mean to you?
So to me, Caymanian cuisine mean more than just food to me personally, because you can say Caymanian cuisine and you just show them a picture of the food, but there's like a whole storyline behind the food. That's what
Uh-huh.
Caymanian cuisine means to me. So it's like the storyline of how the dishes were made, how the spices they put in it. So it's a story behind the dishes. To me, is what Caymanian cuisine means to me. And also, how do I see it elevating? It's just
Right.
from chefs like came on your chefs like myself, Brittany Borden. You have chefs like Raz
Love
Jamal.
Brittany. Yeah,
Sorry
I've
for
worked with Brittany.
anyone else that I left out. So it's chefs like that
Yeah.
that's getting the opportunity to like go abroad, learn different things, and just bringing it back to Cayman and trying to intertwine it with our local cuisine. So it,
Brittany's a sweetheart. She was at
yes,
Parliament for a stint, and
yeah.
oh my God, yeah, she's a gem.
Mm.
But when I think Caymanian cuisine, Caymanian food, the first thing comes to my mind is rice and beans, whatever the protein could be it turtle, be it lobster, be it chicken, uh, pink macaroni and cheese, cornbread. How do you turn that into the level in which we see Caymanian food evolving? Do you feel that that's going to be more reserved for like Heritage Day festivities, when we have national events, or when you go to somebody's home versus you on an elevated stage, preparing Cayman cuisine in a hotel? Because
So
I
anyway,
see Caymanian food being the pink potato salad, the rice and beans, cornbread, yada, yada, yada. CM will probably hear me and he's like,
so I feel like it's a little of both in my opinion. Just based on the fact like when you think about like the culinary industry and Cayman cuisine, you can intertwine both. It's pretty easy. It's just how do you present it? So you can do your
mm,
rice and bean. You can turn your rice and bean with Cayman style beef. You can let it cool. You can turn that into a croquette. Like let it cool, mold it together, bread it, fry it. You can turn that into a croquette, and it could be presented like a 5-star dish. So it all depends on how you present it. I would say. I don't think it's just for local events stuff like that. I feel like if you was to give a chef a
mhm,
wide variety of Cayman ingredients and you tell them present it restaurant quality, it can
right.
be done. I wouldn't say it just stays for Pirates Week stuff like that. It can be
Mm,
elevated into a restaurant quality dish.
mhm. It must be quite challenging then to balance tradition with innovation in your cooking. You must actually struggle with that all the time, trying to balance tradition
Yep.
with innovation in the way you cook.
Just yeah. So during that competition, that was also a challenge of mine because during the competition, they wanted you to make a dish and try to intertwine Cayman local ingredients into the dish. So it was just based on the fact like just trying to keep the roots of like local ingredients, the local dish, and trying to
Hmm.
intertwine to elevate it to like restaurant quality. So like the dishes I made, right, it was kind of trying to keep the roots just based on the fact like I'm about to go to London and compete against 15 world renowned chefs. So
Hmm.
it's also me just trying to keep my local ingredients and style in the dish, but also elevate it to like a world renowned level, pretty much.
Nice. Now, what advice would you give to, let's say, young chefs who feel intimidated by the industry? Because for what you described, being in a competition and actually saying, look, this is where my heart lies. I love food. I'm cooking from the soul. I'm going to remain in this industry, but it is intimidating. What advice would you give to young chefs who may feel intimidated by the industry?
I would say just go in there and do it. Sometimes it could be discouraging, you know. You're young.
Mm-hmm.
Some people try to take advantage of you in the kitchen, stuff like that, push you around, stuff like that. But I would say just go in there and do it with confidence. Have someone to talk to as well. And I would say just do it. Like the industry, there's so many doors that can be opened in the
Mm-hmm.
hospitality industry within Cayman Islands. So I would say just do it. Just don't be discouraged. Some days you might have a bad day, you might have a great day.
Yeah.
Every day is not the same. So I would just say go and do it.
Mm-hmm. For those of you who are just joining this episode of Sabrina Speaks, I am speaking with one of Cayman's rising stars of the hospitality industry. I'm pleased to be joined by our 2025 winner as a young chef, Mr. Kristofer Mason. And he has been letting us know what the journey has been like. I have gotten an idea, he shared with us what his experience has been like in the most recent competition and being the successful winner. Now, they had a mixologist, they had persons who do waiting of tables. Now, he took the prestigious prize of being the young chef. So, Kristofer, what is then the biggest challenge during, let's say, prep, and how did you overcome it?
The biggest challenge for me was just trying to keep, for me, it would be trying to keep some local ideas, ingredients, and a story in my dishes. Because, like, you think of young chef, young waiter competition, and you hear about what would happen if you win. You go off to London against world renowned chefs. So you would think abroad. You wouldn't think locally for some people. So it would be just trying to tie ingredients that would be localized. So I
Mm-hmm.
was bouncing ideas off a few of my mentors from like Canada, one from the brasserie, a few of my mentors. So I was trying to like bounce ideas like, how would I do this? What would be good with this? So it was just the prep for that, yeah.
Mm. Now, walk us through the moment you plated your final dish, and I think I popped that. This is, is that your
That's
final
the
dish or just
that's
one of?
the main. That's one of them.
Okay, tell us what we're seeing here because that looks delicious.
So that is a local cut beef from a farm here actually, and I have fondant potatoes. It was a herb puree, charred scallion, with demi glaze sauce on it.
Mm. Now, when you sip at all this demi glaze and all that, tell me what that is in English.
So demi glaze,
You using all these fancy names? Is that just a little bit kitchen bouquet and a little bit of
so demi
cornstarch? I don't
glaze,
know.
demi glaze isn't like it's a fancy word, but demi glaze is pretty much beef stock reduced, and then you monte it with butter and flour, pretty much, and you
There
season.
we go. How much times have you said, how much times has the parents at home says, look, Sunday dinner's on you. Just tell us what protein you want to go pick up and but you got to cook it. How often have you been hit with that one?
It's a lot, even more now that I've won.
You know why though? Because they're going to tell you you need to keep up with your skills.
Yep, they are. They've been telling me that.
But I know there's a winning dish. Please walk
Mm.
us through that moment that you plated your final dish and like really what was going through your mind? Because you know
So
you're at the end of it. Yeah.
when I played in it was my dessert. I was highly upset actually because my dessert
Really?
didn't come
Why?
out the way I wanted it to. So I made it was a mango mousse with a raspberry coulis and a meringue.
Uh-huh.
All of the other components were good. My mousse wasn't set to how I would like it, so I was pretty aggravated at that. But I still had to just push through and do my best.
Oh, and look, you won. You
Yep.
won. Oh my goodness. Let's look at some of the we got a comment here from Lisa Brightly. It says, "Good evening, Sabrina. Congratulations to your guest, a young Caymanian chef. I'm happy to hear that he's a rising star who's a winner." Yeah, and we got a number of them, Lisa. We got a mixologist as well, but unfortunately, last minute he was unable to show. And we have another young lady as well who's more as in the serving. Riri, I think you got her call.
She's a waitress, yeah.
She's a waitress. So maybe the space is here. We're going to showcase them once they make themselves available. But little Kristofer, well, not little. Oh my God, don't apologies. Kristofer Mason here is our champion as our chef, and we are happy that he was able to avail himself to be showcased and just let us know what that journey is like. And we can see him here putting on his skills. This was part of the competition, correct?
Yes, that's one. That was.
Tell us exactly what's going on here.
So that what I was searing off my beef tenderloin, trying to just get color on it, a perfect sear, and putting it into the oven when it was done. That was for my main.
Okay, now if I asked you to cook me a steak and I said I want it well done, would I be insulting you?
Ooh, you'd be insulting the protein. Not the.
Why? Why?
Because you're extracting all of the flavor out of the beef when you do it well.
But it's not cook. It's pink.
It is. It's what we call flavor.
But we can decorate that up with some A1 sauce.
There's a lot. There's people who like their beef well done. I would say don't just go straight to pink. You can do medium well where it is no pink in the beef, but it's just a little juicier. I would say start there and you'll definitely see the difference and the difference how it tastes.
There's a reason I asked that, because I've heard that in exactly the response, you're just being more modest, that when you actually do go to a steakhouse, especially, and you, let's say a filet mignon, who orders a filet mignon and do ask for well done? Like that is like the biggest insult you can do to a chef. But Kristofer, we got a caller. Good evening, caller. Welcome back.
Good evening. I want to say well done and congratulations to Mason. I don't think he know me, but I think you were in class with my son Julian Martinez. Do you know him?
Julian Martinez.
Yeah.
That's his mom, Michelma.
I actually do know him.
You were in class with him and Bogle and a few more?
Yeah, UCCI, right?
Yeah.
I do know Julian.
Yeah, he just telling me, he said, you're key. He said, congratulations and keep up the good work. He know you very well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And like I don't know you, but that's my son. He's the only one I have, and he's the only one I'll ever have because I have no more kids. And Bogle keep coming here, checking on him too. The other night, Bogle bringing some stuff. And my son is bad because I don't like cheesecake. And he made a cheesecake one time up there. They had to do something. He said, 25 people. And he brought me a piece. And he said to me, Mommy, how was the cheesecake? And I said, well, you know something, son? I didn't like cheesecake. I said, but the only thing I find wrong with it was too small. I'd need a bigger piece.
That's funny.
There you go.
Can you tell Julian to message me so we can reconnect? Actually, I don't have his number.
Okay, he in the bathroom having a bath, but I'll tell him when he come out. Okay. All right. Okay. Congrats. Keep the good work up. The practice will come perfect all the way.
That's wrong.
Thank you, Michelma. And Kristofer, if there's anything and Michelma reaches out to me, do you want me to give her so she can give it to her son? Okay, no problem. I got your permission. Good. Yeah, so this is amazing. You see, look at that. You go back to those friends and it must be, that is such a good feeling. Now, we're going to go back to putting it into the kitchen after we've slaughtered a filet mignon and a well done. But look at Connie. Look at this commenter. Medium well is my style. It takes three well is burnt steak. You see? Well, yeah.
Try medium well, I'm telling you.
So that's someone who understands and someone I'm quite sure you would love to cook for. But how do you stay now? Let's go back into the kitchen, into that environment. Mm-hmm. How do you stay inspired in a high pressure kitchen environment? Where let's say you got a huge dining room full of people and everybody seems to be ordering one of the most complex that you got to get it done in time. It has to be to perfection, but they couldn't choose a more difficult protein then. and you're getting lots of numbers for that request that evening. How do you handle a high pressured kitchen environment?
That has happened to me a few months ago when I was in Canada. Actually, when I was in school, I was working at this restaurant called Richmond Station. It
Uh-huh.
was like it was a Friday night. We had maybe close to 300 covers just for the night,
Wow.
and we were getting slammed. It was like it was steak back to back to back to back to back. So it was, yes, just no break. I have a video of it of like our service, and it
Mm-hmm.
was just a time lapse of our service, and it was just straight cooking, straight work. So I would say just from past experiences working in high intensity kitchens,
Yeah.
I would say that keeps me cool. Because when I just started the culinary industry, did an internship at Kimpton Seafire,
Mm-hmm.
where I went. That was my first time on a line. I was a line cook for a period of time, and
Uh-huh.
we got slammed, and I folded under pressure. And
Really?
yeah, it was my first. I folded under. Like, I told no one this story, but I folded. I messed up so bad, and I wanted to quit and leave actually. But one of the chefs, they carried me in the office, and they were showing me videos of like them hurting themselves, not hurting themselves, but like them doing service, and they made a mistake, stuff like that. So they would just try to tell me, keep going, just try to keep cool. And just it would just be from learning and past experience working in high intensity kitchens, I would say.
Oh, wow. Exclusive here. He confessed he had a low point that almost changed his trajectory, but it took one person who took that time out to say it's okay. We all go through it, and we all need those silent heroes in our lives. Good for you for taking that advice, for believing in yourself as well. That must have taken a lot, but it also probably motivated you to say, look, this is only one fall down. You brush off, you scrape off those knees, and you get up and you get at it again. So, how did you finish that shift?
I did good. After the talk, I took some time, gathered myself, and I went back to the line, and we finished pretty strong for that service.
Nice, nice. Oh my gosh. And look at you today. Now, what's one Caymanian ingredient you think that is underused or maybe even misunderstood? One, do we even have then a Caymanian ingredient? I know you referred to coconut milk, but what
Mm-hmm.
came back to mind was what I call mutton pepper or seasoned pepper. Is there a particular Caymanian ingredient that you think is
So
underused or misunderstood?
for me, it would be, you could say seasoned pepper is one. I would say that is kind of misunderstood, like what seasoned pepper can do, how it can elevate a dish. But for me, I would say cassava.
Really?
Because when most people, you think of cassava, right? You think of cassava cake, or you can fry cassava. But cassava, to me, I think of cassava like a potato almost. You can do anything with a cassava. So like
Hmm.
I could cut cassava, I could boil it down to mush, let it set, season it, fry it. You can make a croquette out of that. You can boil it down again to mush, season it, however you want, put it in a piping bag, and you can make a luxurious puree out of it. You can pipe, like, I think cassava is many different things you can do with cassava that we
Hmm.
don't do that we should start doing.
Well, maybe you can see yourself doing a cooking channel one of these days, maybe.
Hopefully, I
But
can start like a YouTube channel or something.
yeah, something. I mean, because these are things that we get inspired. I mean, on looking at all of the outlets and the different platforms that are out there, it's really not that hard to set it up. And the different ways in which you described you can use cassava, thank God to little Google and Pinterest. There are a lot of things that I didn't know. Like if you have a couple ingredients in your pantry on a Sunday and I get bored, I am by no means anywhere your level, probably will never be. But you just put in what ingredients you have. Find me an easy recipe, let's say with flour, sugar, oats, whatever, and apples. And it's amazing some of the innovative ideas that you can do with simple ingredients.
Yep. This is actually quite insane when you actually sit down and take the time out to do some research. Just the simplest ingredients can make some very good dishes.
Mm. So how do you see food as a form of culture preservation? Because we're saying that Cayman do have no culture. Oh, we're losing it, whatever. Turning that from your world, how do you see food as a form of culture preservation?
I think it is personally just because when I used to work in hotels, you hear like, oh, you don't see a Caymanian often, stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
when you go, if I was a tourist and I went to a hotel and they had like a brunch buffet of all Caymanian national dishes, ingredients, stuff like that, I feel like that's part of our culture, just the Caymanian food, not just speaking to one or talking to one, stuff like that. So I think food
Mm-hmm.
is a preservation of our culture, and just hopefully in the future we can have like a restaurant or like a restaurant in a hotel that serves only Cayman food and that's hired by majority of Caymans who can tell the story of like how this
Oh,
dish was made, what is inspired from this dish. So hopefully in the future we can have that.
maybe it's not that far away. Maybe you don't have to start with a hotel. Maybe you just need to start with a restaurant. Think about that. Think about that. It probably doesn't have to start with a hotel. It can start with a restaurant because so many people grace our shores and they are hungry to taste local cuisine. And like you rightfully say, let's hopefully we'll have a hotel that could do that. What they defined as local cuisine or local dishes is not necessarily what you're talking about.
Hmm.
You understand? And
Yeah.
this is why it's so important for us to write, educating for everybody now, to write policy, certain legislations to preserve our very own culture of Cayman, and saying, should it be a case where then restaurants here should all be at least having two of our local dishes? Now, that may be a little tricky because our national dish is turtle, but
Hmm.
we're understanding the shortage of turtle meat. Well, do we then just do that as a seasonal thing? Do we then say, what ingredients do you use? Is it then going to be Cayman style beef? We alluded to the root of cassava, whether or not it's going to be cassava cake, or we're seeing what's happening with the Filipino nationals. Is it cassava poon?
Hmm.
Where there, and that's being
It is. Yeah.
mistaken. I have had a cassava cake, Kristofer,
Hmm.
made by a Filipino national. And let me tell you something. You would not have known that that was not cooked on a caboose, and it was stretchy and everything. And it was their elements, but I knew it wasn't my Aunt Lurley Scott, may her soul rest in peace, cassava cake. But what I'm saying is, for someone who don't know, we
Yeah.
have to be so guarded with what we know as our culture in our cuisine. But that would have caught me if I wasn't really into cassava cake.
Hmm.
So persons, young persons like you, Caymanian chefs, Caymanians, mixologists, and all of the other local chefs, you are the ones to take it forward in the future to keep what we know as culture alive in culinary delights. And you guys are going to have your jobs cut out for you. So I think it is possible if you all just band together and make it a reality. And it is amazing what opportunities can present itself just by being a winner of this competition.
Hmm. I think it is. Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, the sky is the limit. Leave the government officials to consider, from the, let's say, the Ministry of Culture, to present to those hoteliers and the business owners of restaurants to showcase a dish and be specific about what the ingredients should be, and that's a way of telling our story with the palate. I think that would be a great idea.
I think so too.
Now, how do you, I know you had that little meltdown, but we hear so much of difficulties with our young Caymanians being appreciated, being stereotyped in the workplace. Have you experienced, have you faced anything like this that may have allowed you to even doubt or question whether or not this is the right thing for you to do? Or people have
Yeah.
been inviting of you?
I have faced that before when I just started out my culinary journey, working in the industry. When they see a fairly, I was maybe 14, 15, maybe 15, 16, around that age. I was doing an
Mm-hmm.
internship, and they see this young young Caymanian guy come in where has fairly no knowledge. So I feel like they use that and they try to bully
Ah.
you around, discriminate, stuff like that. So I feel like you do get that in the industry a lot as a young Caymanian as well. I would say you do get that a lot. I would say just to try not to pay them any mind and just try to keep going, I would say.
Hmm. You must have a praying parent, and you must have a strong personality, because not everybody's made the same.
Yeah.
Good for you for sticking it out. And I hope that you're an inspiration for so many more out there. Now, tell us exactly, just to give you a break and to just play with the eyes here. Tell us what you're doing here.
So specific picture was from the first time I did the competition back. I think it was 2022, maybe I would say.
Mm.
That was the
Mm-hmm.
first time I did a competition where I came second. This I was filleting a snapper when this picture was taken.
Mm. And how did you prepare that dish?
So that was it was a snapper sashimi I did for this dish. That was cut. It was a fillet snapper deboned, and I sliced it into like really really thin slices. I kind of folded it like a U almost,
Mm-hmm.
and try to put the dressing on with different garnishes.
Okay, nice, nice. And I told you I would make you blush. Tell me about that one.
I
I told you I would catch you.
I haven't seen. Wow,
How far back that one go? Tell me, Kristofer.
wow! This was in the high school. This is in high school for food and nutrition, I believe. Yes,
And
it
what are we
was.
seeing? Food, nutrition? Yeah, okay. Tell me that now. What I'm seeing.
So I think this was for a practical we had to do. I made poutine. It was a burger, and I believe it was crepes or a pancake. I don't remember.
Uh-huh.
I believe that's what it was. Yeah.
And
Wow.
was this like a aha moment for you?
Wow. This picture is very old.
I can tell you one little secret you hear. I can go very Caymanian on you. Thank you, mama.
I don't even have this picture. That's crazy.
Well, that should tell you
Wow.
something. And I'm quite sure there are others she could share, but she wanted to, I guess, keep it professional. But she wanted to tell me exactly from how far back she knew that you knew within yourself
Mm,
that you were on the right path. And as a young man growing up in a society, you're sidetracked by so many. You could be, but friends, peer pressure, and all that
mm,
sort of stuff. We have to give God thanks when we see our young men and young women who have fallen into the right path from an early age and just continue at it. So I feel that there's a lot of pride in parents when they can go back and look at that versus this
mm.
to that.
The big difference right there.
Exactly. You get it. That's why pictures speak 1,000 words, because you would have never here ever at that moment thought you would be here.
Here. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And if
Yes.
you
Right.
do the dash between those two images, look at all of the trials, look at all of the triumphs, look at everything in life that has, thrown at you. Look at how much friends you may have lost or gained, or choices you could have made. Look at how many parties or teen nights that you didn't go to or you weren't allowed to go to. And look at here. Look at
Yeah.
you now being showcased.
It's a
So,
journey.
it is amazing to just go back. And this is why it's good that I have young persons like yourself speak about the industry, to let them know that not every fall means you should stay down, that
Mm,
you need to believe in yourself, surround yourself with the right people, but mostly have the mindset of a fighter. And I see that in you. And I want to congratulate you and that. And see, somebody know your mama, you know. See there? Miss Matisa McLaughlin says, oh, yes, his mama is always praying for him. You know who that is?
That's my mom right there.
There we go. That's your mama right there.
Yep.
See? Yeah. That is a case. But you know, it is good to see where you are. And it hasn't been easy, I know. And because of us being a small island jurisdiction, you know, at the end of the day, it comes with its own challenges. But you must have more dreams and aspirations beyond this accomplishment. So I'm going to go there. What are your dreams for Cayman's culinary scene? Let's say the next 5 to 10 years. Oh, you know your journey. You know what the sacrifices your parents have had to make. You have known where you've had to be, even in your personal space, in your brain, to survive. And here you are. What's your dream for the Cayman's culinary scene in the next 10 years? 5 years, 10 years?
So for me, it would just be me personally. My dream in the next 10 to maybe I wouldn't limit, start from 5 for 10 to 15 years. I would say would be trying to bring a Michelin star restaurant to Cayman
Mm,
Islands owned by a Caymanian.
nice.
That's my one of my career dreams. I would say is to do, and also
Hmm.
because when I go off to London, I'm getting the opportunity to stage in some pretty famous restaurants over there. Some restaurants that have like 3 Michelin star, which is the top of the top. So I'm going over there. I'm gonna gain as much knowledge, soak up as much as I can, and try to bring it back here.
Hmm.
Just intertwine that with our culture here. Yeah.
So you're going or you're there? You're going to the UK?
Yeah, I'm going to London.
Okay, what are we what are you when are you expected to go?
The competition is, I believe, in February, I believe.
Mhm. Mhm.
I believe the competition is in February, and after the competition, I'm hoping to stay 5 months up there and just try to learn and stage in different restaurants up there. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Mm. Now I'm going to just go a little broad just to pick your brain a little bit because you're an ambassador for Ireland. You do it with the palate, you do it in your culinary skills. But when you hear the word hospitality, what does hospitality mean to you beyond the job title? Because you're a
For
chef.
yeah, for me, it's a lot more than just cooking. It's a lot more than just greeting someone at the front desk. It's a lot more than that to me. Because people think hospitality, they think long hours, stuff like that. But for me, it's just doing. You get to do a job where you make people day. I could say, because when I
Mhm.
was working at Kimpton, there was a lady who me and my colleague were talking to, and she was pretty down. She was going through a rough time in her life, and just
Mhm.
from us giving her good conversation, stuff like that, just comforting her, stuff like that. My colleague actually got a job opportunity to be her one of her private chefs, actually,
Wow.
because we didn't know who we were talking to, but she's a famous millionaire, I could say,
Oh,
and
good. You see?
he got the opportunity to work for her. So I would say it's like hospitality is way more than just a job. I would say,
Because you never know who you're going to
yeah,
be
you
interacting
never
with.
know, you never know.
And this is why a lot of people tend to look at it or limit it to just not frowning at person in housekeeping or opening and closing a door. Um, it's wider than that. And look
Really.
at that. There's so much opportunities in the industry, but a lot of it has to do with personality, interaction, and that aura pretty much that you give off in your interaction with everyone that you will come past.
It is. It is. So I would say like it's just more than a job. It's like I don't know how to describe. It's like a lifestyle almost, I could
An
say.
experience, yeah.
Yes.
And then you
Amazing.
know what those grats and those tips can do for you as well, based
That
on if
too.
persons, yeah. So in every industry, you have your ups and your downs, but there's just something unique about hospitality. And I feel a little bit more education needs to be done in it and showcase and highlight you are being able to give us an idea of what it's like from a chef's perspective and seeing it from you from such a young age. And you continued with it, as Lisa brightly stated here, that she's happy that Kristofer kept the Caymanian roots blended in his cooking. She also said the showcasing our Caymanian culture, showcasing it, and hospitality is showing compassion. So right. It is so true.
That's right. That's
You
correct.
know? Now, how do you think, Kristofer, Cayman's youth view careers in the hospitality today? Kind of goes into what I was alluding to just now. How do you think Caymanians view a career or careers in the hospitality industry today? Have you
I
froze?
feel like it's better now than how it used to be. Because
Hmm.
when I froze,
You're
hello,
back.
you can see me now. You can hear me now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like it's better now than how it used to be. Because when I was in high school, you hear people talk about hospitality. They didn't really want to do it. They hear like long hours, stuff like that. Where they think like, oh, they're gonna miss out on certain parties, stuff like that. So I feel like now there's a lot more young kid miners getting into hospitality because they had a hospitality career fair at Marriott I
That was
think it was
last week,
a
Thursday and
week ago,
Friday. I think, yeah, Wednesday,
and I
Thursday, and
went to
Friday.
it, and yeah, and I went to it, and I saw like it was a pretty good turnout that happened at that convention that they
Hmm.
had. It was a very good
Hmm.
turnout. So I feel like there's more young people getting into the hospitality industry now because
Hmm.
I feel like they see and they hear so much now. So like it's pretty good that everyone is getting into it now.
Well, it's a good thing that we have persons like yourself and competitions like this to showcase not only the competitive side of things, but also shows the opportunities as well in hospitality because they have persons that they need for security, they need persons who may need for coding and computer stuff. You need accountants, you need all sorts of persons. You just don't limit yourself to what you think you're seeing on the surface because there's a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes.
There's
In your humble opinion, and again, for those who may just be joining us, we are putting the spotlight on this fine young man. Now, let me put it up here. Let's big him up. Let's big him up. This is Mr. Kristofer Mason. He is our 2025 Young Chef Champion. And the title of our episode today on Sabrina Speaks is Rising Stars of Cayman's Hospitality. Now, Kristofer Mason, like I said, is our 2025 winner. He is getting ready and he's going to the UK as well in a competition that's in early next year. But I felt it was important, and thanks to his mom for reaching out to me in really giving him the opportunity and for being showcased. And there's also Mr. Kody Wright, who's also a winner in the mixology section. And there's a Ria. Is it
yeah,
Ria? Ria.
yeah.
She's a waitress, but because of her work schedule, she was unable to show up. She was unable to show up this evening, but Kristofer stuck out with me, and we get this opportunity to put the spotlight on him. And you know what I recognize with you, Kristofer? It speaks a lot about you. Um, you are very inclusive of your team. That speaks a lot about exactly what skills you need in the kitchen because it's no one man is an island. And from the second I interact with you, you actually were encouraging to bring your other team members on board. And I that said a lot about you to me. I'm going to be very honest with you.
'Cause I
And
feel like it's not just about me. Like we won that competition. Like we weren't in the same group at the start, but individually we won our section, so we're gelling as a group now, and we're going off to London to represent the Cayman Islands. So I feel like it's just not about just me. It's like a team. It's a team for
Mm-hmm.
me. Yeah.
Good for you. But that was the first thing that came off in the personality, because this is my first time interacting with you. To be honest, I know your mom very well. But it spoke a lot about you, and that is going to do well with you in the kitchen when it comes to teamwork. And as you rightfully say, you all are going off to the UK, and I'm hoping you'll bring it home. And whether or not, I'm going to be honest with you, you guys are already well off to a good start. I'm just hoping that the industry will be embracing and that you will one day be featured here as an entrepreneur, your own business owners. And maybe I'll be served one of these days with a well done filet mignon.
Oh my God.
Steven, no, I insulted you. I'm just doing that. I'm just messing with you. You see, Miss Sandy Hill is saying, "Good evening. Things will get challenging, but still stick with it." That is sound advice. And Lisa is also saying, "Congratulations to the other winners as well." Yeah, and I'm hoping that maybe before they go to the UK,
Yeah,
that we will all
hopefully.
have an opportunity to showcase all of you guys at some point.
I'll check with them and see when's a good time that they're free, and hopefully we can come back on and they can tell their side of the
Yeah.
competition with their journey.
Yeah. Again, in your humble opinion, Kristofer, what roles do you think schools and community programs play in nurturing talent like yours? Because we go back here, and I gotta keep doing that just to burn you. We go back here in school, but food and nutrition. I've seen the George Hicks High School and their kitchen. Wow, that was nothing like what I had in middle school. I graduated in 1990, and they pretty much got state of the art stuff there. But what role do you feel schools and community programs could play in nurturing talents like yours and the mixologist and all that sort of stuff?
I feel my opinion, it plays a very big part. Because for me personally, like when I was in school, I had some teachers that would go above and beyond to
Uh-huh.
try to get me to do the best that was for me. Like I mentioned, Miss Tanique Dunbar at
Um,
UCCI, she was one of those teachers that stuck with me throughout the whole journey and is still with me to this day. I talk to her pretty often. So I feel like it's just the classes do a lot, but the teachers that teach the classes and also teach you, they have a big part to do with it as well. So
exactly.
I feel it's a big part in your journey.
Because they can make or break a student. I mean,
Yes.
you don't want someone with a bad attitude saying you'll never become of anything, and they're not there to give you positive. The environment says a lot, to be honest. So good for pointing that out. So you've been blessed to have those type of persons in
Yep.
and around you. So then that goes back to one thing: family means a lot. How do you personally stay grounded and connected to your Caymanian roots while innovating?
So for me, if I staying connected has to do a lot with family as well. Just from
Mhm,
my mom, she's from East End and like she goes to church a lot. So it's just like having talks with her, going back, talking with like your grandparents, going to church,
mhm.
having family meetings and stuff like that. So I feel like that's what keeps me kind of grounded. Just conversation with your parents and with others as well.
Yeah, yeah. Good. That's key. Key of conversations in anything, in all aspects of life, and especially with the young people right now. You should not feel any way of discussing any subject matter with your parents. If you got that kind of relationship with your parents, your mom, even a sibling, a brother or sister, there should be nothing off the table that you shouldn't be able to hold. And I was raised up by my grandmother, and that was a unique relationship with me and my grandmother. And I totally can see where you're coming from with that. But communication is key,
Yep, it is.
and don't care how old you get, always have that bond with your mom.
That's what I will do.
Always have that bond with your mom. What's one change though, Kristofer, you'd love to see in the hospitality professionals, in how hospitality professionals are treated or even supported? If there's any changes, what would it be that you would love to see how the hospitality professionals are treated or supported?
A change I would say would just be I think it would just be to not even to thank them, but like to just show gratitude to them. Because the hospitality job could be a very dark job. It could be because you're working
Mm,
some aspects of the hospitality. You know, you're working overnight. You're working pretty dark and long hours. So
yeah.
it just be to like I would say just embrace hospitality workers more. Like show them that what they're doing is doing a lot to us and to the country. So it would be just to embrace them more.
Hmm. Oh, wow. Wow. And it's amazing how people actually frown at the tipping and grats. Under it's that must mean a lot to when you're giving your best, especially it may not necessarily affect you as being a chef, but if not understanding the behind the scenes with how the grats, because that's more for the servers, for those who are on the front lines.
Yes.
But the respect and appreciation for when you see that plate. Have you ever where you actually would come out and be allowed to not only after you do a special dish, but actually engage with, let's say, a particular party or a table to let them know the magic behind their meal? Have
Yeah,
you had that opportunity?
I have. It all depends on the customer, I would say. So while I was working at the brasserie, I would say we had a specific customer where the service and the food was so good. Like she wanted to meet the whole kitchen staff. So like more some people, some restaurants or some companies, they only the head chef only goes out, the top of the food chain only goes out. But with this specific situation, like the chef told
Mhm.
us stop everything we're doing, turn off the stoves, and we all went in the dining room table, and everyone who ate lunch with us, they gave us a round of applause. And like
Oh,
little things
wow.
like that, I would say
Motivate.
makes you feel pretty good. So it's just the
Appreciated.
little
Yes.
things that
Valued.
matter. Yeah.
Mhm. Nice, nice, nice. So then that says a lot because I'm quite sure just that feeling of appreciation and recognition that transcended into you for the rest of the shift. But I'm quite sure that lingered for a while because even though it doesn't happen often, a little bit of appreciation goes a long way, and you know that you're respected.
Yep, it does. And then it doesn't even have to be something like you call the whole kitchen out. It could be you just writing a note on your napkin that you get. That'd be like, hey, can you deliver this to the chef? You can write a
Oh,
note to your waiter and just thanking her, giving her just a little message or just things like that. I would say makes waiters, chefs, everyone in the industry just feel appreciated a lot more.
now, you mentioned the head of the food chain. As a young and aspiring budding chef in your own right, where do you fall in that pecking order should an event like that happen again? Let's say I go to a restaurant that you're at. I could be biased. Yeah, I want to applaud you. How would that work then? How if I did that on a napkin and let's say I didn't know that you were there. How would you have ever gotten that? But you were the main person behind the dish that I ate or I ordered. How would you know that that even came? You would be the good graces of the head person, would it?
Yeah, so it would be it all depends. So like in a kitchen, like everyone is like everyone is like family almost. So like
Mhm.
if if you give the note to a waiter, like the waiter would come give it to the head chef, and or she would just give it to you directly. So it all depends on the person. But
Okay.
most chefs, our relationship with our head chef, like yeah, we may butt heads during service, stuff like that. But at the end of service, it's always cool, respectful, stuff like that. So it
Mhm.
all depends on the server. So they would make give it to you personally, or the chef would give it to you himself.
Okay, very interesting. But
Yeah.
wow. And you fall right now, do you work very close with the person in line, or there are different stations? There's starter, there's means, there's, I guess, a
Yes.
fish, there's a beef, and for to avoid cross contamination, try
Uh-huh.
to see if you can paint us a verbal picture with what a typical kitchen looks like Hell's Kitchen.
So in the kitchen, there's mainly three sections. There's grill, there's garde manger, and there's the appetizer side of it.
What's
So like
garmager? Garnish?
no, so garde manger is like would be like salads, starters,
Okay.
light snacks, stuff like that. So that it would be broken up to like those three sections, I would say. So you
Mm-hmm.
have those, and then you have, well, it depends. If you're in a hotel, you have a chef called a CDP, and then you have sous chef, then you have head chef. So it all depends on if you're in a restaurant or a hotel kitchen.
Mm. And you have mostly been experienced or getting a lot of your experience in what type of setting? Has it been hotel or various restaurants? What type, where have you gotten your most experience from, or has it been a mix?
So for me, it was a mix. When I just started, I was doing a lot of internships in hotels, but recently it's been more restaurants. I have a lot more experience in restaurants nowadays.
Which do you prefer if you had a choice?
For me, I would say restaurant because restaurants challenge you way more. I would
Really?
say
I
than
never thought of that.
hotels do. Yeah,
Is it
I would
because
say
they have a more
restaurants challenge.
set menu, or gives you more diversity in a restaurant versus a hotel?
So I would say it gives you more diversity, and also for the set menu aspect of it, it depends on the restaurant. Because when I was in Canada, the restaurant, our menu changed every week.
Mm.
So it would be, so you would have to like come in on a fly, learn the new menu, prep for it pretty fast. So it depends on the the restaurant that you're working at, I would say.
Tell us a little bit about your experience in Canada and what that was like versus working here and being home, understanding that you may have gone through a little bit of homesickness, but yet you realized that international exposure is key. Here you are getting ready now to go to the UK to compete. Let us know what that experience was like when you were in Canada.
So for me, Canada was quite an experience. Just working, it was a restaurant called Richmond Station, and the high volume of people that goes to that restaurant. So our minimum covers a night would probably be like 150. That's a lot. The 150 is a lot. That would be like our minimum. So I would say that was pretty challenging, getting used to like fast pace every day, all day almost. And
Hmm.
also a challenging part of it would be the weather as well.
How long were you there?
I was at Canada for 2 years.
And what part of Canada were you in?
The downtown Toronto.
Toronto. You were in Toronto. Oh, yeah. How did you? Wow.
Yes.
So that must have been a significant change for you coming from Ireland and going to not only a different country, but a total different climate. How
Yes.
did
It
you
was
adjust? I mean, that's
the first
mentally,
the
physically, everything.
first year was tough. And when I first time my first I would say month or two working at Richmond Station was the hardest for me because it was you had the shifts and you had to wake up. So my shift I did in Canada would be like I started work at maybe 6 a.m. and I would
Hmm.
finish maybe at like 6 p.m. But like 6 a.m. in Canada during winter is like I
Oops, I think we lost you there for a little bit. There we go. Got you back. Got you back.
so I would am I
Hold on.
clear?
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I want you to log off and come back in for me. Log off and come back in for me. There you have it. I hope you've been enjoying this interview with Kristofer Mason. Again, for those who are just joining us, I am so pleased to be able to have this opportunity with Kristofer, who is Cayman's 2025 Young Chef Champion. And we have heard, hearing more about him, getting to know him more on a personal level. And I want to just thank his mom so much for sharing some of these images. This is back in high school days, and we have him there from his younger days. And here he is as the winner. I got your back, Chris. There we go. I was just sharing some more. Oops, what did I do? Let me do this. Hold on. Let me bring you back in. Let's remove this and bring you back in. There you go.
Hey, I'm here. Clear?
Yes, you are, Claire. Yeah. So you were talking about Canada and what it was like.
Yeah. Yeah. So as I said, I would work from like 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and waking up and walking to work, or not even walk, or taking the go-kart to work at
Mm,
6 p.m. during the winter would be minus 30, almost minus 30,
ooh.
minus 35. Yeah. So that was a very challenging part for me, just coming from the Caribbean where it's hot all
You
year
just
long.
want to remain under the covers and don't want to go out.
You would wake up some mornings and you'd be like, I do not want to go to work. Like, it's so cold. So that
And
was the challenging part.
gloomy.
Yes.
But look at you. Do you realize that that was not what it was and you made the best of it? Do you see yourself actually aspiring to go to a different country and then come back, or you just want to just get all the experience you can, perfect your craft, and come back home and give back to our society?
I,
What do you feel?
I've been actually thinking about it because my chef in Canada, he wants me to come back there. So I haven't made my mind up. Yeah, I may, if I was to go, I may go for like 3, 4 years, and then I would come back maybe. But I
Mhm.
haven't made my mind up as yet.
You don't have to tell nobody, and I'm not gonna tell your mama. You can share the secret with me here. Christopher, what advice would you give to young chefs who want to possibly just go to, like, the young people who may feel that they've lost that get up and go and just need to find it no matter what message pretty much would you send to like the next generation, which would be like your generation of chefs? What would be a message you would give to them?
I would say just not even just get up and do it. I would say try to look for things that would gain back your spark like that. Like the Young Chef Young Waiter competition. I would say if you're of age, I would say go and join this competition because like I don't think you don't have to have any experience, I would say, or even like any mindset of like, oh, I'm gonna crush this. Just do it just to gain confidence, connections, and just
Hmm.
to gain back your spark, I would say. Because for me, when I came back from college in Canada, yeah, I almost lost my spark in the industry, almost
Really?
just from like you come, yeah, because like I went to culinary school up there, and I came back, and it was like, looking for a job, stuff like that, and like you not hearing back from certain people. So like it's kind of like
Mm,
almost like I almost lost the
disappointing.
spark. Yeah,
Yeah, like you're begging, like
like
you're begging.
yeah, almost. So like I would say that was it for me. So joining this competition would be like is how I got just my spark and my fire back. I would say, and also wanting to come back and win. Because as I said, I did it the first time we had it here back in I think 2023 or two, and I came second in that. So it would be wanting my spark back and just wanting to win the competition, I would
Hmm.
say. So I'd
Right.
say just find anything that you think would find your spark, but I'd say just go and try to do it and do it
Hmm.
to your best as well.
Look at that one. What were you doing there?
So this was during Cayman cookout, the
Hmm.
first year I did it. So we had like a little competition segment during the Sunday brunch where me and the winner we went head to head, like just showcasing to like the brunch audience. Just a little sample of what we did during the competition. So this was taken before we started actually.
Good. Look how cool, calm you see. You're like saying, "Bring it on, dudes. I'm ready for you." Now, you have been with me for quite a while, and it has been a very informative discussion. And I must applaud you. You have held it down. You are very articulate. You're very confident. You're very poised. That speaks a lot about you, Kristofer. And I must say that based on all of the comments that I've been getting, we're proud of you. I'm looking personally to see great things come from you. And like I said, I want to follow you guys as you prepare to go off, and definitely keep updated. You know, you have a direct link. You can send me when you do get time. Send me pictures so that I can build this portfolio, and we can keep the Sabrina Speaks CMR family informed as you guys prepare and go off to represent us again. But before we wrap up, I want to have a little fun with you. I hope you've been have you been enjoying this?
Yes,
You've
I
been
have.
having fun? I bet you were a
Yes.
little intimidated at first now, and you're like, she's going to be
Just a little
hard.
bit.
No. But I got a few questions, just some quick answers. You don't have to give a lot of thought, because this is a part where we actually get to know you even a little bit more. And you know, we want to know, like, what is your favorite local dish?
Mm, it would have to be Cayman style beef or recently stew conch.
Really?
Yes.
Stu Kunk. How did that come about?
So
Is it a new trick that you did, or you just wasn't fooling with conch and you just now all of a sudden love conch?
I don't like when I was younger, I don't know, like I just never tried it, but recently I've tried it and it's a favorite for me now, I would say.
I gotta tell you a little secret about me. Um, I do eat conch, but I'll kill you for conch fritters.
See, me too. Like before I tried it, I could eat a whole plate of conch fritters, but I just would never mess with stew conch. But like now, it's a fond favorite of mine.
Why do I feel you have a touch of Adventist in you?
Yes, my mom's Adventist.
That's it. That's it. Let's leave it on that. Lisa Brightly is advocating for a big kaboom. That's how proud the audience are. That's how proud. That's the kaboom for when you have bust, like the golden ticket on American's Idol. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
that means, Kristofer, for you.
Okay.
And yeah, but it's funny how you say that. What has never ever, though, I could be straight with you. What has never ever crossed my lips is turtle meat.
Same here. I don't want to say it, but
Never
same.
ever,
I
never
haven't tried
ever.
it, but
Mm-mm.
I feel like I'm gonna try it pretty soon. I'm just like, even if I don't like it, I think I have to try it.
Oh, ugh. It's just yeah, that's just me, and I think it was what I've been exposed to, but I just can't come to grips with turtle meat. I don't care how much they say this part tastes like chicken, this part tastes like beef, this one is this, and no, I just can't. But good for you. You're in the industry. You got to know how to prepare it. Good luck for
Yeah.
you in that. What dream collaboration? What would be your dream? Like, if there's somebody that you could collaborate with as a chef, what would be your dream collaboration?
Wow, I would
Hmm.
say for me, maybe I feel like mm, I would say my ultimate collaboration would probably be Gordon Ramsay, just based on the fact like how big he is as a chef.
He's tough.
I would say he is. I would s- I would be him or to work. I've met with. He's judged my dishes before. It would
Really?
be two other people, so it would be Bobby Flay or
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Eric Rupert.
Mm-hmm.
He's a French chef, and he's been here for Cayman Cookout, and he's judged a dish that I've made before. So it would be those three would be my dream collaborations.
Okay, let's see. You can manifest these things. Just put it up to the
Yep.
universe. One word to describe your competition experience. One word. Just for fun and giggles.
Exciting. I would use.
Mhm.
Yeah, exciting.
What's next for you professionally? Or you're just gonna
Professionally,
stick with it?
for me would be this. I'm really looking forward to doing the stages in London.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's a big thing next within my journey that I have going on.
Okay. Now, let's say you weren't in hospitality. What would you be doing besides laying on mom's couch?
Wait,
Is
what?
there another
No.
industry that you think you may have been in if you didn't, or if you weren't in hospitality as a chef?
I'd say probably the mechanical industry, the car industry.
Mm.
Yeah, I love working on cars on the side and stuff like that.
Hmm. Interesting. Because you have to, is there any time that you would be using a piece of equipment in the kitchen that you actually had to try to sort it out very quickly or try to figure it out? An equipment that breaks down on you and you
Yeah,
gotta fix it. You gotta fix
yeah,
it.
I have. Yes, I have.
See, we got
So it works in both
Lisa.
ways. You know?
Okay. Yeah, of course. Hence, I asked the question. Yeah. So there we go. We
Mhm.
got Kristofer. I'm so proud of you. Look at the little shy boy that used to come to CAL's, that's Cal's account office. Matisa, your prayers have paid off. Great job raising him. Kristofer, God has many doors ready for you to open. How does that make you feel?
Pretty good. Just knowing that someone took the time to type that comment to me is it's pretty amazing.
And guess what? It'll always be here in this space.
Yep.
And you don't know who's watching. We have people all the way in Australia that
Oh wow.
watch this podcast. This goes all over the world.
All
This
right.
will probably have views over 10, 15,000. That's the average right here on the CMR TV platform. You
Wow.
never get the second chance to make a first impression. And
That's
even though
true.
the live views may not be in the hundreds, you can probably look at this show by the end of we end at 7. And by morning, we can have easy 5,000, 7,000 views. And within days, it goes to 10 and 15,000 views.
Oh wow. That's pretty
Kristofer,
good.
the sky's the limit for you. I love your demeanor. I like your composure. I love your disposition. And I feel that great things will come for you. The fact that you have a foundation that is built on a very strong support, a praying mother, a supportive community, and you definitely have earned some new fans right here on the Sabrina Speaks and the CMR platform. And we are definitely looking for great things for you. So whenever you get those down days and you're human, they're going to come, Kristofer. Kristofer, they are going to come. You just remember God, put him first, and always remember mama's number. Okay? Call her.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And do you have a personal mantra or motto that keeps you going?
Um, for me, it'd be the Nike motto. Just do it.
Nice.
That's
Nice.
I just that's something I live by. Just do it.
Mine has always been I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
That's a
And
great one as
there have
well.
been a lot of down days.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just reflect back. But yeah, that resonate with you, just do it. But I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
That's me. Yes.
This is your opportunity, Kristofer Mason. And again, we have different people joining us at different times. It has been a very engaging, informative conversation, very candid one as well. with one of Cayman's hospitality rising stars we've been showcasing this evening, young chef, Mr. Kristofer Mason. I am so proud of this young man giving me the opportunity to, you can almost say, get into your business. But you were able, you were able to, you played along very well. And the information that you were able to share, your comfort, your candor, you didn't shun away from anything that was posed to you. And a lot of it was very off the cuff. Good for you. That speaks a lot about you. And I will give you this opportunity. Any shout outs, any closing words, any remarks? I got the number as well from Michelle Mason. I'll be sharing that, sending that forward to you. He messaged me. So I'll be forwarding his number so you can connect with him. And but this is an opportunity for you to give closing remarks, personal shout outs. Kristofer, this is your opportunity.
So I want to say thank you for everyone who's been tuning in and who will tune in even when it's not live, for taking the time out and just hearing my story. I want to thank everyone who's been supporting me throughout my journey that I've been going through. And also, I want to shout out to my parents, my mom, my dad, my teacher, Miss Dunbar. I want to shout her out because she played a very big role in my journey to where I am today. So I want to shout her out as well. And it would just be, I just want to thank everyone who's, been following, not just me, but my team as well. I want to thank everyone. So hopefully next time you see me, we'll be on here again when we win the competition in London.
Yeah, thank you so, so much, Kristofer. And again, God's blessings be with you always. And I know I could keep up in touch. I could keep in touch with Mom. I could keep him, but you have a direct line to me. You feel free by any means to reach out at any time. And should circumstances change and you want a little spotlight before you go, I'm not going to charge you. I'm just more happy to be an ambassador and give you guys the platform to get you guys out there. I'm more than happy to entertain. If it's even half hour, an hour, you definitely can hold down a conversation. You see our numbers have stuck and more people are tuning in. I am here for you. Just give me some advance notice and I will definitely entertain you all. But all the best to you. God bless. And we're going to do this for you. See, even Miss Lisa is saying that you're so humble. That speaks a lot.
Thank you.
A lot.
And thank you for having me as well.
Sure, it is my pleasure. And I'm very proud of you. Very, very proud of you. So you're going to go back, you're going to share this link with your friends, and you're going to read all the comments as well that persons have said about you, because it's totally different when you're actually on here to read everything, but you can see it for yourself after the fact. All right?
Okay,
take care. God bless.
Thank
and
you.
all the best to you, my love.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye. And there we have it. What a powerful, I would almost go as far as saying flavorful, an inspiring conversation with Kristofer. Oh my goodness. And he's just shown us that hospitality is honestly just not a career, but this young man has found his calling. And I want to thank you all for accommodating me and sticking here with me this evening with Kristofer. That means a lot. And I'm quite sure it means a lot to him as well. And as the messages keep coming in, Kristofer, continue to ask God to keep you humble. Yes, that is so powerful, Lisa. And I will share his friend's number with him afterwards. But I want to thank all of you for supporting our youth and for being there in his life, even when he didn't realize what he was going to do. So to you, our listeners, support our youth, celebrate our culture, and remember that excellence is growing right here at home. These are true testaments, and we can't take these things for granted. And I hope that we will not take this episode for granted, that it'll be a reminder that excellence is growing, and it continues to grow as we create this space for the next generation. And supporting our local talent, celebrating our youth, and never underestimate the power of a well-crafted dish in this case, and a heartfelt welcome by even those who may choose to be waiting of tables. And when we do get, Mr. Kody, the perfect balance of a cocktail, the key is to keep supporting local talent, keep celebrating Caymanian excellence, and keep speaking up because Cayman, trust me, we're listening. And it shows because of the comments that we're getting here. So as we toast our young chefs, waiters, and mixologists blazing trails here in 2025, let's raise a glass. Mine this evening's going to be a glass of water. And to our sponsor, International Lighting. Yes, we're going to toast 39 toasts for Edward and his crew. For 39 years, they've helped set the stage for comfort, creativity, and connection. Their anniversary sale, ladies and gentlemen, is still sizzling with deals on rugs, bed and bag sets, and those bright colored tees and polos, and so much more. So while our hospitality stars serve up excellence, let your home shine just as bright. Visit Edward Miller and his team at Ed's Plaza, 194 North Sound Road, and they're open from Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., or give them a call. That's 345-949-8211 or 345-949-5141. Until next time, I'm Sabrina, and this has been another episode of Sabrina Speaks. Until tomorrow, stay dry, stay blessed. See you then. That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, Cayman, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.